My oh my, would you look at that glorious headpiece right there? It's beautiful, isn't it? Well, hello everybody, welcome back to today's stream where we are once again continuing our look through at the mod that I'm making, Diablo style loot. Again, for people watching, or for people who might watch this VOD, the kind of point of this mod is to randomize the tiers of all weapons, armor, and rings in the game, improve the base stats of higher rarity armor and weapons, and also grant them all special effects. So yesterday I made it through Blighttown, killed Quelaag, so today we head up to Anor Londo and do some more shenanigans. Just for reference, here's what I'm rocking right now, and this will give a good base point for the mod, and then we'll get started. So again, we got our Enchanted Claymore, which is uncommon. So this has a little bit more base damage than a regular Enchanted Claymore would. And then the special effect, this one increases elemental defenses. So you see right now, I have 200-ish magic, fire, flame, and lightning defense. If I unequip it, you'll see that some of those drop down. I guess all of them drop down by 20 points, it looks like. Thereabouts. In our offhand, I'm rocking a magic longsword. Gives us about 5% more souls. Yesterday we got our first godlike piece of equipment. Godlike is the highest rarity of loot in the game. It has a 1 out of 1,000 chance of dropping from most enemies at base item discovery, with a little bit higher rarity as you go on throughout the game in later games. So this one also grants us more souls. I believe I did the math and I think it was 25% more souls. So yeah. And then we got Armor of Thorns, also increasing our soul gain. Same thing with our Sorcerer Gauntlets. And then our Crimson Waistcloth is increasing damage. To balance some things out, uncommon weapons have higher requirements. I think every tier past common, it's +3. Hey, no problem, Christian. Thanks for jumping in after watching Solar Pellets run. Gravelord Sword is one that I like as well. And then to balance out the increased effects of armor, they are much heavier than usual. So every tier above common, you gain 1 unit of weight. So I think a bloated sorcerer head is 2.2 or 3.2 units of weight, and it being godlike, it is very heavy. So I am stuck in the fat roll for now, as you can see. So let's pop into it. I realized as I loaded in to the mod today that I forgot to see what Rickart was selling down in New Londo. Because again, we just came up from Blighttown, so I figured we are doing a magic-based run, so let's go ahead and pop down just to see if he sells anything special or not. Which hopefully they can, because I like the Ulasil Catalyst, but it's got that static magic adjust of 164. Again, normally it is 180, but it being a uncommon to kind of balance out the strength of sorceries, miracles, and pyromancies, the rare tier equipment, spellcasting tools, more specifically, the scaling for a rare spellcasting tool is equal to a regular one that you would find in the base game. And common and uncommon are of lower quality. Let's see what you got. He's got the Lightning Grant. And here's another thing. All weapons can now be any type of infusion. So obviously normally the Grant, you cannot have it as an infused one, but here's a weapon that does 3 different types of damage. Oops. It retains its A scaling because I might have to look into that, but that should mean it would scale with the lightning damage should scale with faith, but as it is lightning, of course, it does not retain any scaling for strength. Let's also pick up a copy of Heavy Soul Arrow. I don't know if I'm going to use any sorceries because I'm just rocking a Spellblade build, and I have left it so that even though this is an enchanted weapon, we can still use spell buffs. So that's just kind of the pre-stream or intro to the mod. I kind of covered that in the last video, but again, for people that are just finding this one, yeah, that's kind of what it is. So let's maybe, we're rocking really heavy equipment. We could always stop by the watchtower area and try to kill Havel again. I tried doing that yesterday, but I failed. Yeah, that might be a good idea. Yeah, let's do that first, and then we'll go to Sen's Fortress. Just got to find the best weapon to go ahead and parry him with, because I guess we could always apply the buff to our longsword in our right hand, use that to parry. So I'm not the best at fighting Havel. Yeah, I think the Priscilla dagger would be pretty good. Same thing with the jagged ghost blade. Yeah, obviously. Oh, look at that. We got a legendary weapon for our first drop of the run. How about that? And honestly, that's lore accurate right there. Because the fire infusion is what you get for Dark Souls 2 weapons. So basically, for all of the enemies in the game, they have chances to drop different weapons or armor in the base game. So they all have, 8 different slots that you could fit a certain type of equipment in. So by default, most of them have nothing in their first slot. For early game areas, the lowest class or the lowest rarity, which again is this Godlike tier, is a 1 out of 1,000. The next least rare, kind of an awkward sentence, is 2 out of 1,000, and then 4 out of 1,000. 8, 16, 32, all the way up to, I think, 256 for common items. It is, but I don't know if I'm going to use it. Let's see. Oh, I guess he does sell the Master Key after you ring both bells, which I think we did. And he still retains all of the stuff that he has. But yeah, okay. So, yeah, looks like, I think solar pellets, you looked that up yesterday. But good to have confirmation that it is indeed the trigger of ringing both bells. He'll come up there and sell the Master Key. We should check that out. So I think I need to tone down the base damage for fire and lightning weapons, because that is nearly 700 AR. I know it's not the best, but I guess it is a legendary weapon. I'm still tuning some stuff, so that is why you'll notice that sometimes in my run, if I find a weapon that is a little bit too strong, today I might shelve it if it has a really strong infusion and it is doing more damage than maybe is reasonable. But hey, that just shows, normally I think it's 21 dex or 22 dex, and because it is rolled at a higher rarity, it requires more stats to use. But yes, a legendary Black Knight Halberd, if I got that as my first drop in this run, because we got that just now in the Firelink Shrine area, Undead Burg area, I certainly would have gone with that. Yeah, base of stores, straight sword. Yeah, I never played it. I heard tell the stories of early game builds in both this and in Dark Souls 2, where lightning damage was just ridiculously strong. But sadly, I didn't start playing Dark Souls until about 3 years ago now. A little bit after Elden Ring came out. So I don't have those early day experiences. Excuse me, how did you not die from that? Let's go get this bonfire. And we're here to kill Havel. And we're here to go up to Sen's Fortress. I suppose I could have gone the back way because I was at Firelink, could have gone. Well, problem is with soul level 1 character in this game, you would probably have to do pyromancy because, again, all of the requirements for stats have been increased for higher level loot tier. And while hey, look at that. We got a Divine Havel's Great Shield, mythical. So we got a legendary and a mythical already. And as far as I know, there's not any way to give a ring to have additional, like you can in Dark Souls 2 or 3, where it just gives you like a raw +5 to your strength or dex or whatever. So this is an incredibly strong great shield. Shields are super strong when you get common or uncommon rolls like this. So 100% physical and magic, 96% fire and lightning, 84 stability, but 55 strength and 25 faith to use that. That will require a heck of a lot of investment in order to use that bad boy. But if you got that early, again, you know, that's kind of the intent for this mod. You know, if you find that early, maybe you build towards that and you go into the end game with a stupidly strong shield. You get a bunch of armor that has like plus defense as its special effect, and you just face tank everything. Not unlike how you would do in a normal Havel armor run anyway. This case would just be a little bit stronger. I don't have it so that common weapons are lesser right now. That's certainly something I could look into doing, but I'm trying to find the balance, I guess, the point, or at least the intent that I made that kind of change, or the idea I had in mind was that if you find a super powerful weapon early game, that's a good question. I don't know. I can't remember if I set mythical or legendary. I'm gonna check that while we're looking. But the idea kind of behind why I made those weapons have higher requirements is I wanted it so that if you found a really strong weapon in the early game, you couldn't just equip it and go to town right away. So, you know, you could obviously find something super rare early game and then kind of build towards that, but I didn't want it to be so overpowered early game so that you just find like a mythical, legendary, or godlike, you know, straight sword with a crazy strong effect and then just go to town through the rest of the game. So the intent is to kind of have like a natural progression. You know, common weapons are like +0, uncommons like +3. So mythical is, sorry, I gotta clean my glasses here. Mythical is the second rarest. So that enemy had a 2 in 1,000 chance of dropping the mythical, the mythical divine Havel's Great Shield. So that's a very rare drop. It's not quite on par as a godlike. The GCS ring. The Chloranthy ring, the stamina increasing one, or am I misreading your comment? Otherwise, I can't think of what the CGS ring would be. But yeah, but I guess it's kind of a moot point because all effects should stack. I think there might be a couple that don't just because of the game's default behavior. So I think Gold Covenant server ring. No, it does not. I shouldn't say no. So item discovery will, wow, that did no damage. Item discovery will increase your odds at getting better items, more rare items, up to a certain point. Kind of follows the same general Dark Souls drop formula stuff. So, long and short of it is, yes, you find rare items if you have higher item discovery. So, realistically, I should be rocking with some extra humanity, but I don't really find that to be necessary right now. So, let's see. I don't remember what Havel's ring is by default. I think it's 20%, 50%. So, this shouldn't be quite as strong. So, we're at 62 right now. Then we go up to 80.6. So doing some quick math, I think that's 20%, maybe 25%. And in fact, now that I realize it, we can probably just go the back way up to Andre and go to Sens for that. Nice to be mid-rolling now. Although I can't use my Enchanted Claymore if I am rocking both of these, can I? Oh, it's just quite. Rings can be. So static drops like Havel's ring, the wolf ring. I have set the rarity of some of those so that they kind of correspond with the game's progression. So a lot of this early game stuff, you'll find common and uncommon. As you progress later and later in higher level areas or later game areas, the loot that you find out in the world, like rings and armor and stuff like that you would normally pick up off of corpses, will have, you know, uncommon, rare. I think I set a couple of things to be very rare, like in the DLC, but that is the highest tier of rarity that I apply to any of the static type drops. So that just kind of gives a way for people to get guaranteed stuff. Yeah, right. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a way to change that one. So there are a couple of rings that are unchanged, and I'm pretty sure the Darkwood Grain ring is one of the ones that can't change, that hasn't been changed. And that's mainly due to how the back end game mechanics work. Because that one, it invokes a game state, which I don't know a ton about, but as opposed to directly modifying like some things on your character, like the Havel's ring, for example, it gives you a direct increase by percentage to your equip load. Instead, that one is like a flag, and it says, okay, if you're under this amount of equip load, then we change the animation to do this. It's kind of the same reason that the Covetous Gold Serpent Ring and Symbol of Avarice don't stack. It's because they both tell the game that, hey, you're in this state, go ahead and give the player an extra 150 points or whatever it is of item discovery. I'd like to figure out if there's a way to mod those, but everything that I was looking at, I can't find a way to actually change that stuff, because it all seems to be hard-coded in the game's engine, and at least the program that I'm using to modify the game, that doesn't seem to be an option in order to make changes to those type of things. So it is what it is. But I'm happy with the amount of stuff that I have been able to change. Should really start pumping some strength. We need to get our weapon stronger. I guess it's only E scaling, so I really should just be pumping intelligence now that I look at it. I'm hoping for a better weapon drop. I mean, don't get me wrong, uncommon is pretty good, but again, it's kind of similar to like a +3, +4, and I think we're going to be carried through Sen's Fortress with our spell buff using magic weapon. Because I'm anticipating the man serpents are going to be pretty tough to take down here, especially if I can't hit them properly. You know, let's just run past. Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I mean, I know it's obviously a mod of my own creation, but I have enjoyed my time so far. I'm glad I've been able to figure out as much as I have been. This is really the first time that I've had any experience modding a game like this. So it's, you know, it's kind of like an item randomizer, but with some extra added on. So, been fun to learn. I do enjoy this type of stuff. I think one of the changes I want to make is I want to put a little mini like ARG in the game almost, with like the pendant or something. Like you trade it with the crows or the raven in the asylum, and get some special stuff like that. Right. I remember this being a very difficult area to traverse my first time playing through Dark Souls 1. Nowadays, I just run through, like so many other people do. So I think this should be a uncommon, or looks like I gotta fix that. So still some stuff I gotta. I'm glad to see you back here, Peyton. Thanks for joining. Still a couple of kinks to iron out, like that weapon right there. Let's just reset these bad boys. Yeah, I'm normally, you know, not much of a streamer guy myself. I think this is the most I've streamed in quite some time. Just progress secrets, or Siegmeyer's quest. Bespoke YouTube stuff is definitely more my thing. But I'd like to do some more streams when I'm doing modding experiments like this. Like, if I ever get to a point one day where I'm good enough at modding stuff, like adding new weapons, maybe for like a sub celebration or something like that, I'd like to do a stream where I take like users' input on new weapons that they want to see added, and try and create them in like a stream type event or something. I think that'd be pretty fun. But again, not at that stage yet in my technical knowledge with modding the game, but that's certainly something that I strive to do, and I think that would be a fun idea. I think it was probably something to do with the broken pendant in some fashion or the other. But one of my thoughts is like, okay, what if you... And I don't know if I can script this, but like, what if you get one of the Lord Souls from any of the 4 Lord Soul areas, and you get the pendant, and then you like trade them with a blacksmith for a special boss weapon, like maybe you get a Grave Lord's sword. Excuse me, that hit me twice. Like maybe you get a Grave Lord's sword that does poison and toxic and a ton of it. Maybe you can get a special version of the Fury sword or something that like gives you extra fire damage, so on and so forth. I think that would be that'd be kind of cool. Do I have any better weapons in my inventory? I guess I'm gonna bring back the Fire Crystal Straight Sword because that's pretty good for us. Can't use that. Can't use that. I'm going to put the falchion in my inventory. I don't have enough dex. I did get a mythical weapon yesterday, the butcher knife, but I don't have the strength to wield it. I should probably start pumping some strength now that I look at some of the weapons in our inventory here. Halberd, enchanted dark moon bow. I always carry around the magic crossbow as well. Let's put that away because I don't think I'm going to use that. Yeah, something like that. The thought I was thinking about this earlier today, was I could just take the Great Sword and just apply different move sets and special effects to it, depending on like which boss soul you get. Like, if you go take down the Bed of Chaos, you can get something special that basically changes the move set of the weapon to something like the Fury Sword. So you get like some faster slashing attacks with some fire attached to it. For Nito, if you do Nito, you could get something like that where it does the really strong stabbing moves and stuff like that. Maybe you could even do it with like Mana Soul, or there's a variety of options that I'm thinking of. That the one thing I want to do is I want to make sure it's all able to be done pretty simply, because again, I'm not the best mod maker, so I want this to be a easy thing to install if somebody wants to play it. Is it really? I had no idea. I had zero clue that's how that worked. Well, you learn something new every day. I don't know why I got hit that last time when I got hit by both of those I got hit by the boulders twice. You gonna come down, or it's better not roll down as soon as I start getting up here. Let's reset you, snake boy. Ooh. Well, that is kind of one thing that I did. All of the areas have increased scaling for bosses and enemies. You also do get some extra souls, so it's like 20 to 30% more. Bosses will have like 20 to 30% more attack, HP, damage, and poise, I think. Yeah, like that's weird. That never hits me twice. That will. So the game should be a little bit tougher, especially as you go on and on throughout the game, to kind of compensate for the increased amount of damage that you should be doing in theory with the addition of weapons with special effects. So early game, it didn't seem to make too much of a difference. I didn't find the Quelaag fight to be particularly difficult this time around, but for context, the normal defense modifier for the DLC and like the killing of the first flame is 3. In this mod, it is set to 4.5, I think. All right. I looked away for a second. Yes, there is a legendary poise ring. There's a godlike poise ring, and I think it gives you 80 or 90 poise. Suppose I shouldn't be reading chat when I am navigating perilous platforms like that. So I was actually looking at that pre-stream, the Covenant of Artorias ring. I want to make it so that you could get the Abyssal Greatsword or the Cleansing Great Shield, and that would also apply the effect where you could traverse the abyss. I gotta figure out how to do that. It should be easy, I think, but in theory it would allow you to get those, do the DLC early, and then save Sif, because you can't do that in the regular game progression route. Interesting. Does it reset when you get back up to the top then? I guess I played this game quite a bit, not as much as some other people here and there, but that's interesting. I never knew. But yeah, that's something I want to do. I want to make it so that you could save Sif by going to the DLC and getting either the Abyss Greatsword or the Cleansing Great Shield. I think that would be something cool. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I never knew that before. I also think the problem is I am running up there with heavy load, which I think your startup frames for sprinting are a little slower, if my memory on mechanics is correct. So if I pull off some of that stuff. Okay, well that could happen. Should have quit out again. I guess I was a little bit too close to him. I'm kind of feeling the effects of the stronger scaling, though. I will tell you that. Suppose I should have spec'd into a little bit more strength here in the early part of the game. There is a special. Well, you can do the DLC first, and then if you go fight Sif, not Sif. If you go fight Sif after you've done the DLC and saved Sif from the Abyss, then there will be an altered cutscene when you go into the fight for the first time. So it's not necessarily just New Game Plus specifically. It's just if you've done the DLC first, and then you go fight Sif. But yeah, for those people joining, I didn't say this, record this, because I am going to turn this into a video, I think, at some point. And stream quality recording is not the best. But for people joining, my goal is to have a playable copy of this probably this weekend is what I'm shooting for. There's some tweaks that I've got to make here and there, quality of life stuff, and I got to fix some text in a few different spots, and I want to play around with some of the scaling values for a variety of different items and whatnot. But yeah, this should be playable by most people come this weekend at some point. So hopefully it should be fun. I've been having a good time with it. It's always interesting whenever you release a mod for other people to play, so I'm looking forward to the feedback that people might have on it. Figured I'm just going to kill the Bant Serpent here. Okay, go, 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 go. There we go. Easy as pie. Is that a statement? I don't even know if that's a phrase. But yeah, just thanks for joining me here again. Playing my mod here on a Wednesday evening. Second day of October. The year has gone by incredibly quickly. Looking forward to the holidays coming up. And man, they have come up very quickly. I mean, shoot, we're only only like 2 months away from Thanksgiving, and then Christmas will be here, and then it'll be the New Year. Ready for the loud explosion. Oh goodness. So the way I have, yeah, I certainly hope so, Shadow Killer. So the way I have, my goodness, that is so loud. The way I have weapons, which I guess are just shields. The way I have shields or stuff that has pre-existing special effects, for the moment I have them randomized as well. I may do it so that the effects are not randomized, and then they just kind of take their base special effect and get applied in certain fashions. So like the Sanctus, instead of having a randomized effect like it would right now, I think I might change it back so that it is an HP regeneration effect instead. I was going back and forth on that, but I figured, at least for my test run, I wanted to just do it where all of the equipment is going to be randomized. There are a couple of exceptions, and hopefully I'm able to show off one of those here tonight. That I think should be a neat change, but I've got to get to a later game area in order to pick up one of the static drops, and hopefully it worked. Man, that is like really loud here tonight. I don't know if I changed an audio setting or something, but man, that is stupid loud. Ooh, you're getting a Colt Dark Hand. And then you got some rare equipment. So this is one of the text things I got to change, that protector info. All right, increases defense, stamina regeneration, and miracles. Sage's robe wouldn't be bad, but I also increased the shot prices because by default the soul gain has also been increased by about 20% for this run to kind of allow for more build variety. And given the fact that I've upped the stat requirements on a lot of weapons. You know, they certainly are, but it's just tonight, for whatever reason, they are like extra loud. I don't know why. So when I'm coming, you know, up through Sens, you know, I'll do it, and it'll be loud, and certainly it won't be pleasant to listen to, but well, you know what? Let's go down here first. See if we can get a good Ricard's rapier drop. Like usually it's not that loud in my ears. Man, I'm having a tough time here in Sen's Fortress. Yeah, it would be. And also for right now, I guess I should say that. Oh goodness. Weapons with bleed and poison, I have maintained those effects because I was having a little bit of difficulty figuring those out as well. And I think it's, if I'm going to make the change to like the Sanctus and the Grass Crest Shield, I will probably just change how the applied effects work on stuff like that. So there's like more bleed on innate bleed weapons. Life Hunt Scythe does like extra bleed or something. Or maybe the self-bleed buildup is a little bit diminished. Again, you know, there's balance changes that I want to make. First time I've ever made a mod, so. All right. You can really see that magic weapon is really carrying this this build here. I'm actually going to switch to the falchion. No, I don't have enough dex. I might switch to the longsword as my base weapon. What do you do? Elemental defenses. Yeah, I think I might do that. Ooh, and this gives me a medium roll. But it should be, I should honestly be a little bit higher DPS because the longsword is pretty quick. Trying to parry me, buddy? You don't parry me here. I want to roll a legendary Ricard's Rapier. Get it with like boosted counter damage. Oh, that'd be peak. Let's see what he drops us. Ooh, a magic Ricard's Rapier. Very rare. Ooh, that might be our weapon. We might have just found our weapon. And it increases stealth. Ooh, that might be it. That might be it indeed. Got to grind some decks up, but yeah, that's a good drop for us. So that red aura, that is the special effect of the Crimson Waistcloth. So its special effect is increases damage. So a lot of these effects are based on effects from rings in the base game. But there's a couple that are based on spells. This one is based on the Power Within effect. So if you use Power Within, you'll get that red aura. But that's how you know you have a item that gives you the damage up special effect. I'm thinking about changing that slightly. I might leave it in. I don't know. There's only so much I can do with the base game special effects. Yeah, a magic Ricard's Rapier with an increase in stealth and very rare. That is going to be a doozy of a weapon. It's 25 decks, 26 decks. As opposed to the 20 that you normally need with it. Let's go see how the Iron Golem is. Pretty easy fight. Yes, yep. Every effect should stack. Yeah, there might be a couple that don't. I think the multiplicative effect of the status resistant boosting stuff, like the Poison Bite Ring, like I don't remember if that stacks with the Gargoyle Tail Axe, but that stuff might not stack, but everything else should stack, so... we've got on a couple things that boost soul drops, and I tested it last night, and we do get additional. We do get additional souls for every piece of equipment that we're wearing that has that special effect. We need to kill you. I think we probably should. Right. Well, if you missed the stream yesterday, I can't remember everybody that was here, but I did find a bunch of stuff yesterday that had the red tearstone ring effect applied to it. So if we get down to it, there could be some times where, that's right, I can't use that yet. We could go like endgame and do a couple of fights with all our RTSR stuff. Okay, this is probably not going to be worth it. We're doing like next to no damage to him. And it would be fun. Let's just go in here. Let's get humanity, buff our weapon. Oh, you know what? I gotta save my. I gotta do something real quick. I gotta make a backup of my save data because I changed some stuff pre-stream, and this was one of the things that I changed. So hopefully, the game will not bug out. I changed his drop to be the, I think Golem Fist? No, what is it called? Golem Axe. So let me do some on-the-fly stuff here. Oh, I gotta remember where the Dark Souls file stuff is saved at. Here we go. This is the glory of testing out a mod on stream. All right. Should be good to go. Let's go see if we can take down the Iron Golem. Jeez, that is paltry damage. So there is the extra scaling that we're finding ourselves having some troubles with. Come on, buddy. Wow. We did like next to no damage to him. Alright, so what does that mean for us right now? First off, let's pop some souls. I can see if that's possible. One of the things I am not very familiar with right now is changing animations. That's something I want to learn how to do, but that requires a little bit more technical knowledge, and I think at some point I might be able to figure it out, but I'm not 100% sure if I will be able to do that relatively easily. So I don't disagree with you. It would be nice to go through the game and, you know, have healing. So right now I have it so that you can't upgrade weapons at with any of the blacksmiths. I'm figuring out if I want to keep that in or not. I think I am going to have it so that you can't upgrade weapons. So the way I want to have it happen is I want it to be every boss fight also gives you a roll chance for all of their weapons. So like the Iron Golem would normally drop, you know, his soul, or I guess it's the core of an Iron Golem. But I want to have it happen where you would get both of the drops from the Iron Golem and they would be at a randomized tier of weapon. But when I tried doing that yesterday, it did not work. So I got some more testing to do, see if I can figure that out. So I think the fix for me at the moment is that I'm going to put boss weapons in areas that are like after. So like, you know, we're fighting the Iron Golem here. So I think I'm going to do it so that you can purchase the Iron Golem boss weapons at the Giant Blacksmith in Anor Londo. But I would like to figure out how to do it so that they can drop their weapon at randomized rarities as well. I don't know exactly how to do that right now. So Falchion is good because it has really high swing speed, which should benefit us because we're using magic weapon. And I guess I should probably do the same thing that I did against the Gaping Dragon, where I put on some more damage boosting stuff instead of soul boosting gear. So you can throw on the Sorcerer Cloak, throw on the Dingy Gloves. Do I have anything head related? Physical, thrust damage. Havel's Helm with stamina generation. That's a fit right there. Look at that. Alright. Let's just try this. I also like this because now I can have a bunch of effects applied to me at once. Or normally you'd never be able to have that many at one time. Okay, this is already better damage. Okay, we got him to start to stumble. There he falls. All right. Yeah, I could do that. I could, I was also thinking about making that other one work the same way as the Covenant of Artorias, where you wouldn't have to get that. And you could also just traverse the abyss when you have that in your when you have that weapon equipped. But I think I'm going to take a look at boss weapons and maybe apply some special effects to them. Alright, there we go. Can I get all of it on? I think I got all the stuff on. Oh, boy. How many souls do we get? 75,000. Ooh, that's a lot. You normally get 40,000, I think. That is a heck of a soul gain right there. Alright, Anor Londo time. I'm glad I made the switch to this falchion here. That was, you can definitely see the effect of that and all of the damage boosting gear that we threw on. So, you can't just go into a fight and expecting it to be easy. Right. Well, originally, I will tell you that when I was doing this, Sunday night when I was doing some testing, I had all of the enemy defense and HP scaled up 50% instead of the 20 to 25% that I have right now. And I tried doing the Moonlight Butterfly fight to test the boss drop on, I think it was New Game Plus. And let's just say that I tried that like 7 times and I gave up because it was incredibly difficult. I don't have any Firekeeper souls. Just want to talk to you. All right. I think that means we have enough. No, we need 26 decks. I can't wait to use this very rare Ricard's Rapier. Oh, that is going to be an amazing weapon to use. It's my favorite run because that was the video using that and a lot of it that has the most views on my channel. The optimized DPS run. Ricard's Rapier does that 6-hit combo on these strong attacks. It is nuts. Hello, Gargoyle. Man, just do like no damage to this guy. And you can see here, I mean, I'm rocking a uncommon weapon. Obviously, I was doing the same with the Iron Golem fight, but I'm not using a spell buff right now, and it is tough. So hopefully for balance changes, when people go through and do this after I put the mod out, if they don't find it to be too difficult. Yeah, I want to do that. I want to... just some common stuff. Yes, I'm absolutely going to kill Guinevere. Because I want to fight all the bosses. But as you can see, I didn't get the core of an Iron Golem last time, so clearly how I have it set up right now still doesn't work. Which is too bad. So again, I may just leave that so that boss weapons are going to be purchasable in vendor spots after you fight the specific boss. But it is what it is. What do we get? We got a Crystal Gargoyle Tail Axe, very rare. Increases potency of sorcery. Nice. Yeah, I could do that, but I want to fight ONS before I fight Gwyndolin. Even though I don't think it really matters, because I mean, yeah, I could increase poise. That's an easy change to make. Because I always think that, you know, Gwyndolin should be more resistant to magic than they actually are, but they're not. So I always get spooked whenever I go in with a magic build. And then I remember, oh, you know, it's not like Gwyndolin's magic defense is that high anyways. Yeah, I could definitely add some more poise to enemies. That's why we're here. That's why we test things, you know? Really dislike the second gargoyle fight. Oh, come on, that didn't hit. Magic Channeler's Trident, common. Yeah, that's true. You get the alt cutscene. I think I need to push this down one more level in order to get great magic weapon. I think this is the right way. But yeah, it's my first foray into making mods. My dream goal, I want to get good enough at modding so that I can add back in the DS1, 2, and 3 maps into the Elden Ring game engine. I don't know how balanced it would be necessarily, but I think it would be really cool to go back and play through the game with the modern day mechanics, you know, jump attack, poise breaks, stuff like that. I think that would be, it'd be unbalanced for sure, but I think it would be neat. I'm quite a bit of ways away from being able to do that. They're all chasing after me. Quit out save is undefeated in Dark Souls. Except for Dark Souls 2. I also did think about adding the ability to maybe do some power stancing shenanigans with this mod, but I don't know if I'm technically skilled enough to do that right now either. So the Calamity Ring is pretty funny because I had a laugh when I was making it. I think the rarest tier, the Godlike Calamity Ring, I think makes you take 500% more damage. Something like that. So you get that. You should get that as a drop from Calamite, and it should roll a random rarity. And yeah, you should definitely use that if you find it whenever you're playing the mod. Alright, gotta focus up here. Always skip the Batwing. Excuse me, I took fall damage from that? I hope so. I mean, with the late game bosses, how much damage they do, you can just imagine fighting Gwyn with an extra 50 to 60% attack. No armor. I mean, you could be at 99 health and you would die with just like a simple left-handed punch. Oh, come on, you didn't fall. Oh, wow, he got onto the platform here. I don't think I've ever seen the Silver Knight come up here. Right, lore accurate, Gwyn. Oh, there he goes. We do need souls. I mean, we're getting quite a bit from drops here, but I would like some more. And I think this is the soul of a great hero, right? Go. And sometimes the level geometry, like I just took fall damage right there, if you noticed. There's just some weird mechanical quirks with the game. Always funny to find something like that when it happens. All right, that should be enough for 2 levels, I think. Oh yeah, I have to imagine this is certainly going to be enough for 2 levels. Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, you just saw 10k right there. I normally skip it. I mean, you get more than enough souls on your journey, especially when you're rocking extra soul boosting gear like I am. Yeah. I was to the infamous area with the Anor Londo archers. So that was not enough. Is this going to be enough? I popped the large. It is not. Alright, that's fine. Let's go see if I properly implemented Havel's armor. See if I can get good at parrying. Yes, I can. Okay, I guess you can parry him after you're taking damage. I had no idea. I think that's one of the so there's a couple of things that I haven't changed, as I think they might mess with the game balance, or stuff like that. So hey, we got a drop from the Silver Knight. Ooh, it's a Curse Bite ring. I think that's our first random ring drop of the run, if I'm not mistaken. Nice. So the Pyromancy Flame, because that is kind of a whole thing that's difficult to change with how it's coded in the game, and the Skull Lantern, I think those three are the main ones that I can think of that aren't rings that haven't been changed. So let's see how much curse resistance this gives us. We're at 64. This is a rare ring. Look at that curse bar. Ooh. 124, so 60 curse resistance. Definitely want to keep that around for the Seath fight. But I think it's nice to have rings be a little bit more uncommon. Although I have added a couple extra rings, like I added clutch rings, for example, into this mod, and a couple of other ones, and I still want to implement a few more as well, like the Lloyd's sword and shield rings. Holy cow, mimics are uber strong in this mod. Let's avoid fighting him. But I think it's good to have rings be a little bit more rare because their effects are so strong. The Mimic Head I also didn't change, or I also changed it so it has a random effect. That might be one where I revert it back to how it was in the base game, but upscale or downscale its effects. We could rock Havel's now. We got the Occult Dragon Tooth. We got all of his armor, and we got his Great Shield. So if I felt like leveling way up, I could throw on Havel's gear. I mean, look at that slash defense. Whew. And it increases attack. What do? You increase souls. We could rock full Havel's. What else? Let's see. Status defense. Look at that bleed bar. Oh, that's a beautiful thing, isn't it? And increases physical damage. Nice. Yeah, let's throw on the curse ring just for a moment. Look at that curse bar too. Ooh, that's a thing of beauty. But no, I want my extra souls for now. That's how high our curse defense goes when I'm not wearing, or that's how high our curse bar goes when I'm not wearing any of the curse boosting gear. Okay, I'm getting lost in this room. There we go. But if I did change that, I'm not sure if I would also make the HP drain a little bit. I think I would probably make it a little bit less at like a legendary level and have the soul boost a little bit higher. And then if I can ever figure out how to change the item discovery effect for stuff like that, oh, 200 soul short, I would probably want to change that to lessen, or to kind of like increase or decrease the amount of item discovery it grants at lower or higher levels. You know, I noticed that we need to go ahead and attune Great Magic Weapon, but it's alright. We're fighting this overnight. This will be enough for one more level. But with the mod, I will do a short video, and I will also post all of the changes and special effects that you can roll on various pieces of armor and weapons at in some location. Maybe on my Discord, where I'll have a text guide. Yeah, I did. Again, that's kind of the same thing with like boss weapon ascension. If I can figure out how to do it easily, I would like to do it so that if you get an ember or something, you could do like unique weapons of some repute. Like maybe again, you could get boss weapons that are unique, or you know, there's some ideas I have floating around in my head. But Ideally, I want to remove all of the Titanite drops, at least for the time being. But yeah, I mean, if you got any suggestions, I'm all ears, because yeah, it's the first time I'm making a mod, so you know, again, if you see anything that you think would be cool to implement, I'm more than happy to hear you out. And like that's not a bad idea. I just got to figure out if it's easy enough to do. Get distracted by reading chat. But that's okay. I appreciate everybody being here on this Wednesday evening. Hey, you know, we've only been alive for about an hour here. Planning on going like another hour-ish here tonight. And you haven't missed out on the ONS fight yet. But one thing that we found, we got a very rare Ricard's Rapier from Sen's Fortress. Yeah, it's the. I mean, hey, it's all the streamers I watch. They make quote unquote misplays whenever they're glancing at chat, reading messages. Luckily, I have an 88H raveled brain, so I'm usually doing like 2 things at once whenever I'm recording stuff for my challenge runs. Anyhow, so I don't know if I have a high propensity for it, but I can do it sometimes. Should I summon Solaire for this fight? Let's try it without first. Because with the increase to their regular HP and whatnot, I anticipate this is going to be a pretty tough fight to begin with. I don't want to give him an extra 50% right now. Come on. Come on, Ornstein. Well, it's funny, the Dark Souls 1 and 3 videos that I last did, or maybe not the last one I did, but like the... What the heck are you doing, buddy? The ones where I max out all the weapons. You know, those took me like 60-ish hours of gameplay, so a lot of that was grinding, so you know I had to be doing other random stuff, watching videos and whatnot. Maybe even a solar pellets video here and there, which I'm sure I did. Oh. Yeah, it would be... It's something that I could think about. Like, maybe... Sorry, I gotta focus up here for a second. Don't want to die. Like, maybe, you know, you could use a Titanite slab to ascend a weapon to a higher tier of rarity. That wouldn't be the worst idea, I don't think. I'm not 100% sure how to implement that. Okay, come on, guys. What are you doing? What is Smough doing in this fight? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I watched that one on a Sunday afternoon one day. I can't remember what video I was doing, or if I was doing research for something. I think that was when I was doing some research for my "Can I one-shot all Dark Souls" videos exactly? Because that one took me forever to do research for. Okay, but it was fun to do. You can really see in this fight that a lot of our damage is being carried by a great magic weapon. There we go. There we go. Now we just got to get him in the loop. Oh, are we going to die? No, we're fine, we're fine. Just don't do the butt slam. Okay, okay. Here we go. Holy cow, that thing went a lot farther than I was expecting it to. Pop of Humanity. Snow butt slam. Come on. Lingering hitbox, man, I tell you what. Should be good. Just need to find a time to reapply our buff. It's looking like a first time. Our first try, ONS fight. Don't want to speak too soon yet. Yeah, we got it. We got it. And that trumpet coming in right at the end. Beautiful, beautiful. Hey, this one worked. Why didn't the Iron Golem one work? We'll never know. But I fixed this one. I guess the Iron Golem just didn't work. Get a Chaos Smough Hammer rare. NPC that made it the farthest. Well, Kirk is a Dark Wraith, right? So Dark Wraith. So I don't think he would maybe count necessarily. Iron Tarkus got to Sen's Fortress, and then he was killed by the Iron Golem. Logan, kind of, maybe. I mean, Logan obviously wasn't really searching for Gwyn. He was more in knowledge pursuit of Seath. But I don't know. That's a good question. All right, let's check out the Smough's Great Hammer. He has. I don't know exactly how that translates. All right, a Chaos Smough Hammer. Right, well, I think the lore thing, like if you look at where his corpse is, I think the kind of common or prevailing idea is that he got picked up by the Iron Golem and thrown into Anor Londo and crashed through the Painting Guardian area. At least that's what I recall from some video essay that I'm sure I saw somewhere. But yeah, now we got enough to wield the Magic Ricard's Rapier. Ooh, this is gonna be beastly. Let's pop a... I don't have any throwables. Huh, how about that? I'll be back. Just you wait. But yeah, if you look at where his body is in that in the painted area, chapel type thing, I think that's kind of the general thought. Actually, you know what? Leroy. Yep. That's another good point. Leroy. Do we have my crossbow? I do not. I gotta pick up my crossbow. Yeah, for sure. Trying to think who else. Is there anybody? I guess Beatrice is kind of like, I'm thinking of all the 4 Lord Soul areas. So you got Kirk in Lost Izalith, Logan in the Duke's Archives, Solaire for Gwyn. I guess it's not really a Lord Soul, but Leroy for Nito, and then Beatrice for the 4 Kings. So I guess it would be one of those other 4 options, I suppose. What are we looking for? I'm not really much of a lore guy, though, to be honest. Right, let's trigger this cutscene. I missed. There we go. Crestfallen warrior, right?
I am Gwyndolin.
It's funny because he doesn't even invade you. He just kind of shows up as like an NPC in the New Londo area. Yeah, you know, I like the Elden Ring lore stuff. I got a little bit more into that in Dark Souls. I'm gonna take a quick moment and use the restroom, and then we'll be back and we'll start we'll probably do Gwyndolin and the Painted World, and then we'll see where that leaves us. So I'll probably go for another hour or so. All right. Let's go ahead and do Lautrec. And then we'll get his armor, see what he was rocking. Go down, kill Gwyndolin. To the Painted World. Kill Priscilla. Then probably do Izalith first. That's my preferred first one. I have a good offhand thing that I can put here. That does increase. Ooh, actually, we've got this that does thrusting attacks. I'll offhand Velka's Talisman. It's pretty potent damage right there. And that's pretty potent damage right there. Holy cow, we just got one tapped. So, in theory, NPCs like this guy should be using the same type of equipment that we're able to access. So, he's got some equipment's special effects that are giving him some bonuses as well. I think... that's right, I gotta warp. I never understood the warping here in Anor Londo. Like, it always sends you back to the wrong one whenever you die. It's very, very annoying. Yeah, this R2 attack, oh, so good, so good. As we're here past the 9 o'clock hour where I'm at, just want to again say thanks for everybody for being here at this stream, testing out this mod that we're doing, and having a good time with it. So I haven't talked about that today, Forosa, but the original file that I set up for the ideas I had for this run, oh my goodness, I didn't kill him, was last Monday, I guess. I mean, I've had this type of idea for a little bit, but the actual work that I've been doing on this, I've only been doing it for like about a week and a half now at this point. Dark Souls 1 is definitely the easiest spot to start learning how to mod, at least going through it for the first time myself. But yeah, I think yesterday I said I've maybe put in 40, 45, 50 hours in total Maybe a little bit more. I'm not 100% sure. It's not like I'm keeping track necessarily. But a lot of it was inspired by the Elden Ring mod that did the same thing. So I had a good baseline of where to start. There we go. Basically one tap that guy. Sweet, sweet 8,500 souls. Should be enough for another level. Definitely want to keep pumping up vitality and endurance. We're going to need those for certain. Fun fact, I had no idea that this thing even existed the first time I played. So every time I came back up through the elevator system right there, because I think I died a couple times trying to get into Anor Londo. Or something. I remember, I very distinctly remember having to do something really silly in order to get back into the Anor Londo, because I didn't realize that that elevator or the mechanism existed. There we go. Firekeeper Soul. Be a nice boost to our Estus Flask. And then I do plan on eventually doing something like this in Dark Souls 3. Maybe Dark Souls 2. When I don't know how easy modding is in that game. Maybe Demon Souls at some point, and then I guess perhaps if nobody ever like redoes it in Elden Ring, I might think about trying to kind of bring that back from the dead. So I think with all of the effects that you can get in Elden Ring, and heck even Dark Souls 3, there could be quite a bit more variation, which I think should be pretty neat. But that's just my opinion. Oh, you know, I gotta change that one too. So that's another ring I forgot to change, I guess. Alright, Gwyndolin. I am not a big fan of fighting you. Yes, you gotta chase you down. But I do enjoy the music. Now, normally I don't kill Gwyndolin, not to be honest. Usually let him live. Oh wow, we can't get the double tap on him. Come on, do your arrows. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, that's some good damage right there. Just reapply our buff to be safe. Yeah, I think I gotta free Logan at some point too. There we go. Easy, easy boss. 10 Dark Moon Catalyst Rare. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah. Increases defense when in danger. Nice, nice, nice. 68,000 souls. Whew. Yeah, that's why in perfect scenarios, Makari's Rapier is the highest damage and DPS weapon in the entire game. You know, it would be interesting, and I think I might do this maybe. This does magic damage. We could maybe do a split, a hybrid faith and sorcery build. And there you see I added a drop into here because I got a. Did I add a drop? Did I just pick up a weapon from this chest? I don't remember. Anyways, might do a split faith and magic build. Just looking at our brass. Yeah. But having Sunlight Blade as an option would be kind of nice too. How much does it require? 30 faith? Ooh, that's quite a bit. Well, we are gaining souls at a very prodigious pace. So let's, you know, that'd be kind of funny. I've never really done that before. It can be a little silly and start speccing into some faith as well, maybe. If we're going to be rolling Ricard's Rapier for a while. Sure, why not? Let's be silly and do a funny little run like that. All right. Painted World, that's what we're going to do. Yeah. You know, with the increased level of difficulty, you know, I'm not going to judge. Especially with some of the stuff that you can find, you could make some absolutely busted builds. So here's Iron Tarkus's stuff. Ooh, we got the Moonlight Gloves. Nice. Lore accurate drop. Check those out here. Nope. I forgot the doll. Cue up the classic meme video. Totally forgot that. Boost sorcery, magic damage. Is that the same weight as what we're wearing? It's a little heavier. Lightning defense and stamina regen, and then we got the magic black iron great shield. So we're gonna pivot. Let's go down here to Lost Izalith because I do want to show off, hopefully, something cool if I can progress through this area pretty quickly. And not enough humanity to join the Covenant and get the shortcut. Might as well join the Covenant though. Get a nice pyromancy even though I'm not using the flame. I was just fighting Gwyndolin, that's all. And they were pretty easy, unfortunately. And I was going to go to the Painted World, and I forgot to get the doll from the Undead Asylum, so instead I am pivoting to go through Lost Izalith now. Because I want to get the drop to see if one of the changes I made to a certain static drop in this area, I wanted to see if I did it correctly or not. All right. Do I have a bunch of stuff that increases fire defense? That is the question. Throw on Havel's armor. He's got a lot of fire defense. Just for the early run-up, as all. So increases elemental defense. Look at that curse bar. Oh, isn't that beautiful? we will never ever get cursed with that big of a curse bar. Alright, hopefully I don't mess this up, because I have a tendency to die to ceaseless discharge a lot when I try to do the, not the skip, but the run back down to the start of the area. Because I am what I like to refer to as am an idiot sometimes. Actually, do we have a shield that we can equip? No, we do not. That's alright. Hello, buddy. That. And then we go. Ooh, that's rough. I don't know if in my casual playthroughs if I've ever actually been cursed or not. Holy cow, we can survive the breath attack from ceaseless discharge. I have definitely gotten cursed before, intentionally, to do the hyper mode strats at low levels of HP. I'm trying to think if I've ever gotten cursed before, and I don't know if I ever actually have. Alright. Glad I made the decision to put on all this super good defensive gear. Let's swap over souls boosting gear, which was you. This bad boy, and then offhand. You. That's 231 damage. Discharge has been ceased. And how many souls do we get for that puppy? Only 35,000? I thought he also dropped 40,000 by default. Maybe it's 20,000 for him. I want to go ahead and become human because I want to see if I can get a drop from Kirk. Oh, and I also, solar pellets, I have made the decision that I am going to be silly and I am going to do a split magic and faith spellblade build. So that's something I've never done. I think it should be a little bit funny. So that's all you missed. Is it a great idea? I don't think it's a very good idea. In fact, I think it's a pretty bad idea. I suppose I probably didn't need to kindle this bonfire, did I? There's another one super close by anyhow. Oh, sorry guys, I gotta take a moment. Just give me a minute. Sorry about that. It's an IRL pop-up. But now we're back. Alright. Let's get this Kirk invasion. Let's go down. Let's kill the Demon of Firesage and Centipede Demon. And then hopefully make our way to the bed of chaos. And that's probably where we'll call it for the night. So I got like maybe another half hour or so of streaming. And again, I'm planning on being live again tomorrow, trying to finish this run. Might take me another day, might take me another 2 days, but definitely planning to finish this run here in the next couple days. And yeah, and then release it out for playability by the weekend. Wow, I thought I spaced properly. You can't hit me, Capra. Just kidding. Oh, and we're dead. Yeah, I loathe the chaos, or the bed of chaos fight. I'm so bad at it, even after having done it like 50 times at this point. In theory, and I'm not going to do this, but in theory, I'm pretty sure I could change some of its behavior for this mod to just make it a skip, but I'm not going to do that. You can definitely see how unforgiving I think the areas are starting to become, which I think is a good thing. I don't normally consider the area post Ceaseless Discharge, or the Taurus Demons and Capra Demon, to be particularly difficult. Yeah, that's definitely a fair case. I don't find it as bad nowadays because I tend to just use a shield, which does help a little bit. It doesn't like trivialize it or anything, but I find that it definitely helps. There we go. You see the power of Ricard's rapier. But you know, I do share the sentiment. I don't like it very much. But to each their own, you know. Like, I know, for example, that I really, really enjoy the combination Radagon and Elden Beast fight, whereas a lot of people don't like that combination very much. I also am not human anymore, and I forgot to place the Lord Vessel. That's just a comedy of errors here this last couple of minutes. Let's get back to Firelink so we can place ourselves the Lord Vessel. Yeah, Seath is just boring, you know. It's just not very good. Man, I'm forgetting everything. I forgot to place the Lord Vessel. I forgot to do the Black Eye Orb invasion. Forgot to become human again to get the Kirk invasion. Oh, man. Talk about streamer brain. But yeah, I mean, I don't hate Seath, but it's just kind of boring, you know. What do you know, you're just kind of standing there waiting for an attack, and then you just wail on him for like 10 seconds, and then you avoid an attack, go back up and run against him, and rinse and repeat over and over and over again. Yes. Alright, Loftrek, let's see if I can first try you. Fun fact about the Black Eye Orb, the variation in Dark Souls 2, where you have to invade Lycia to get the miracle from her, whatever that one is called, and I don't remember what it is. I had no idea that you had to do that, so I had to go through a whole another New Game Plus cycle in order to actually get all the miracles. Oh, come on. He was one hit from death. One hit away. Classic Dark Souls. Yeah, we can come back and do that later. Let's just take down the demon Firesage, shall we? This area was so terrifying the first time I played the game, and now I just know that you can just basically run straight through it. Let's see if I can get a good opportunity to... get our buff on. Man, we're still not doing that much damage. It's good damage, don't get me wrong, but it is definitely starting to feel the effects of having the increased scaling and not rolling with a anything higher than a very rare weapon, which again is good. There we go, easy boss. Easy boss, easy boss. Oh, looks like you gotta fix the demon's catalyst. Good thing. No, I think the text is just messed up. Or something, because this thing is all out of whack. I don't know why its fire damage is 425 plus 177. Holy cow. I'm not going to use this, but I just want to test out how good this is against one of these demon statues. If I can actually get a hit off. Yeah, 785. It might be a little bit too strong, I think. Yeah, I must have messed that one up a little bit. Oops. Run by you. And I was gonna go get the bonfire, but I realized that there's one in advance of the Centipede demon fight, isn't there? Nope, it's not enough. Man, this is your favorite boss. That's a good choice. Well, based on that, I'm gonna have to harbor a guess that your least favorite boss is Artorias. But hey, everybody has their own opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Trying to think if there's any other bosses that are well beloved that you would catch a lot of heat. Maybe ONS. I don't know. It's not. There's outside of the Bed of Chaos. There's not really one boss fight in Dark Souls 1 that I dislike. Definitely. Okay, I guess that hit me. Definitely some simpler ones in the series. Just owing to the game's mechanics. Now, Calamite. No, I can understand Calamite. He's definitely got some janky hitboxes. So I can understand it. Are we dead? Nope, we're not. This boss fight is just a cluster. Always difficult to see what's going on. And like I feel like I rolled out of that. Whatever. Yeah. Some of the hitboxes sometimes I don't agree with in this fight. It is quite loud. The ear-piercing attack does more mental damage than it does physical damage. Yeah, I mean, you know, they are obviously reused bosses, and I don't disagree with you that though the AoE spells that they have are pretty annoying. I think I would like them more if there was only one of them in the game as opposed to both of them. Like I think Dark Souls 3 did it really well with Udex Gundyr and Champion Gundyr, where you take the tutorial boss, like upscale him a bunch, give him some better moves and things of that nature. I think they did it really well. And I think they did it pretty good in Dark Souls 1. Does that not have a hurt box on it? But I think it would be a little bit better if there was just one of them as opposed to both of them. There's a charred ring. I don't think you can get out of the grab attack, can you? Okay, I guess you can, because that did no damage. How about that? So let me get 2 more hits in. Just one more hit. Just one more hit. All right. Very, very chaotic Centipede demon fight. Just how everybody likes it. Let's throw on the orange charred ring. This means that Solaire's questline is ruined, which I didn't think about, but that's all right. Come back and fight him for his gear, maybe? Maybe you have to finish his quest line to get his gear, I don't remember. Alright, let's see if I can get to and beat the Bed of Chaos in like 15 or so minutes. Let's see, let's get a decent shield out of here. What do we got? You have any 100%? Do not. So we can use a magic. Yeah, this does increase physical damage. Let's pop that in our inventory. But if I can get to the appropriate area, I can hopefully show off one of the changes I made that I think is pretty cool. I think they're goofy more than ugly or creepy. You know, like bug eye stuff doesn't really bother me. Like the things I find creepy are like the small little spindly bugs, but stuff like that with like the big eyes, lots of eyes, tentacle type things, I've got no issues with. Plus, their grab attack is funny, where they basically put you into the toilet. It's always a classic time the first time it happens to you. I just get lost in the Lost Izalith. I don't usually have any issues navigating this place. Let's try this again, shall we? It's also been a while since I've been through the proper Lost Izalith. So I always just get the 30 humanity and go through the shortcut. Shield on here. Let's go the correct way this time, shall we? I think I went that way first time for some reason. Oh, come on. Undead dragons, man, I tell you what. There we go. Second try was alright. Alright. Run up to the Bed of Chaos. So, fun fact about the NPC up here. I think she's basically a reskinned version of Quelana. And she and Quelana, I think, both have the highest intelligence stat in the entire game. I think they're both set at 68, if I remember properly. But, obviously, they use pyromancies, and pyromancies do not scale with any stat. So, it's just an interesting little tidbit. Yeah. Yep, that is definitely... Honestly, in some respects, I think this is even easier of a run back compared to the one from the shortcut. Just because when you're going through the shortcut for the Chaos Covenant, you have to either avoid or kill the prowling demon, Titanite demon, whatever. So, all right, Daughter of Chaos. There we go. Hopefully I did her drop properly. Yes, I did. Let's see if I did it correctly. All right, so maybe I should make it a little bit more obvious, but I changed the item description on this. So, in theory, it should allow us to not only cast sorceries now, but this one specifically, the Izalith Catalyst, should allow the casting of both sorceries and pyromancies now. Just a little bit of flavor that I added to this staff, although I don't have enough intelligence to wield it. But I also changed another staff in the game to allow for casting of both sorceries and miracles. So you might be able to guess which one that is, because there are 3 staffs that are basically the exact same copy of each other in the base game. So when you're playing that is the special effect on those 2 staves. So this allows you to use a staff that can cast pyromancies, but also scales with the stat. So just a fun little tidbit. I'm also thinking about also putting one that allows you to cast all 3 classes of magic, but I have not done that yet. I'm still thinking about whether I want to implement that or not. Excuse me. Just slapped me like it was nothing. Come on. There we go. So that's just one of the things I wanted to show off. So the Izalith staff has been changed so that now it casts pyromancies alongside sorceries. And it has ever so slight amounts of faith scaling to kind of match how chaos stuff works in Dark Souls 3. But I think it would still be outclassed by most other staves, as well as the Ascended Pyromancy Flame. I'm gonna go in here. Wow, that did a ton of damage. Nice, got a good dodge, got a good dodge. Wow, this does so much damage to us. Holy cow. Well, we could just roll full Havels in here. Because there's not a great reason not to just be rocking super high level armor. Let's do our rare one. I wish there was, you know, they had the one in Demon Souls with the Talisman of Beasts. They have some in Dark Souls 2 that cast, you know, sorceries, miracles, hexes, and pyromancies. I don't think there's one in Dark Souls 3 that is a dual miracle and sorcery casting tool. I'm trying to think off the top of my head, and I don't think there is. And then obviously for the DLC in Elden Ring, they brought that back. So. That they are. Hexes are... I mean, Dark Souls 1 pyromancies obviously are really good, but Dark Souls 2 hexes, they're definitely one of the stronger tiers of magic in all 3 Dark Souls games. I think they're definitely the best build type in Dark Souls 2, especially because you can have 2 different rings that affect hexes with the Dark Clutch and then the Abyss Seal. Plus all the infusions and stuff with like Chime of Want and the Dark Infusion, managing souls and stuff. I think it's a cool way to build a magic system. Hopefully we don't die. Okay, no. Oh boy. Classic right there. Yeah, I think I might give this one more shot, and if I don't do it right here, I'll save it for my next stream. But again, just want to say thanks for everybody that's stopped by and engaged here this evening as we test out the late game balance. I know Lost Izalith, you know, there isn't the best area to test out balance purpose-wise things. I think it'll definitely start showing up as we go into the other late game areas like the Duke's Archives and Tomb of Giants, and especially the DLC. I'm excited to see how difficult the DLC is going to be. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, hey, you know, good variety for different people. Well, you know, that's fair. I am also, like, stopping and trying to kill a bunch of enemies and reading descriptions and all that good jazz. And believe it or not, I think I'm okay at the game, but I'm not like the best player of Dark Souls 1 in the world or anything like that. Like, I'm good and I can beat it. You know, I've platinumed it. I can beat it in later New Game Plus cycles and all that good jazz, but the stick skills, I am certainly not on top. I mean, with your knowledge of the game and, you know, the fact that you beat it really often, I would imagine that it might take you like 2 streams maybe. You might, I mean, you never know. You find some really good equipment, you could certainly beat it in 1 stream. All right. Well, I think that's a good place to call it. I'm getting a little tired here, and we'll pick it up here. I'm glad I was able to go in and show off the fact that one of the staves that I changed can now cast pyromancies, even though I don't have the stats to wield it. And then there is one other one in the game that I have right now, again, that can be a dual cast system for sorceries and miracles. So again, just want to thank everybody for stopping out here this evening, joining me for the stream. I think I'll stream tomorrow. If not, I'll definitely be back on Thursday. And then possibly Friday if I don't beat the game in my next stream. But I would imagine I'll be able to beat it in the next 2 streams. Until then, again, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, feel free to like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Be sure to follow the channel. I will be posting the mod download and how to install it on your copy sometime this weekend, and you can take it for a spin as well. Until then, we'll see you in the next stream. Have a good night, everybody.